Okay, so anybody who's watching or listening, they've either already been following us or this is the first video that they're watching of us.
Welcome back.
Or for those that are new,
Welcome.
talk to me.
My name is Brigi.
Hi Brigi, my name's
Brigi
Heywood.
is short for Brigitta. It's a Hungarian name because I am Hungarian.
My name's Heywood Similon, and I'm half Belgian, half English. Grew up in Spain. February 2018 we met. You literally walked into my apartment with your big fur coat. Wasn't real. And I think we found ourselves within 6 months. We're in another country, living together with a baby on the way. We quickly discovered at the beginning of our relationship that, you know, even though there was something that drew us together, we both had things going on in our head, which we both struggled to explain to the other, as well as understand ourselves within ourselves.
Exactly.
But the nice thing is, I think, is that we were both definitely on a journey of bettering ourselves and understanding what the fuck is going on.
We had both been through a lot at that point. And we were both on a similar journey where after we'd been through a lot, it was time for like a big shift in our lives and a big reset, exactly, and leaning into more of a path of like self-discovery and growth. And at that time, I was 28.
I must have been 33.
33, yeah, because it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Now I'm 34.
And I'm 39. And I think it's fair to say that we've come a long way in our own personal growth, especially in terms of like understanding how we operate,
Exactly.
like as a singular and as a couple.
When we met, you had already been diagnosed with ADHD, and I have never heard of ADHD until I met you.
Yeah,
And then soon after spending time with you, we both sort of realized that I too have ADHD.
Yeah, absolutely more than likely have ADHD. Still waiting for the diagnosis, but it's without question really. And also potentially maybe on the spectrum, which
It's a fairly new discovery.
is quite exciting. This is going to be an episode in which we tell you what the podcast is about. This is our why. If someone was to like bump into you now and go, "Oh, I heard you do a podcast. What is it about?" What would you say?
Everything that we discuss on the channel is through the lens of a neurodivergent couple.
Navigating
Navigating
the roller coaster of being neurodivergent while raising a child, while living in this world in 2024.
Exactly. Topics like ADHD,
mental health, relationships, personal struggles, and how we communicate between us.
And sprinkle in some social justice issues that we like to discuss.
3 social justices. What does that include?
Feminism, the patriarchy.
Down with the patriarchy.
Also ableism.
Yes.
It's a very important one.
Yep. I think like at the core of the podcast, the one fundamental is always going to be that it's about a couple that are going through different things or exploring different topics and how they kind of communicate around them, because we don't always agree. And a lot of the times we don't agree. But one thing that we 90% of the time do is if we disagree about stuff, we do it in a respectful manner.
Not everybody agrees in relationships. You can't agree on everything. That's normal. But how we navigate disagreeing within our relationship.
So this podcast, what is your why? Why do you feel this podcast is important?
If we find people who can relate to us in any way and find value in what we talk about, they can relate to whether it being neurodivergent, being in a couple or both, or our individual struggles, things that you go through, I go through, if they can just relate to one of us in some way and find helpful what we have to say.
Why is that important?
That's important because I want people to feel there's somebody else out there who is like them. And there is not enough of that, even though there's so many people on the internet. Everybody's different. The more voices you bring, the more somebody will be able to relate to that. Somebody out there will be like, wow, I feel like that. I do that. I understand that.
So let's be stupid. Why is that important, that people feel that connection?
Because all kinds of representation matters, as we know. If you can relate to somebody else, you don't feel alone in your struggle. In whatever you're going through, you feel heard and understood by someone else. And that can help you cope with whatever you're going through. Because the more people we have on this planet who are on the path of discovering themselves and finding ways for them to become happier, if everybody is happier and if everybody is more fulfilled in this world,
Yep.
the world automatically becomes a better place.
And just to add to that, that doesn't mean that we're ourselves trying to be happy all the time, because I appreciate that the sad and the happy is a balance. But I think there's a lot more of the sad and the dark than there is the light these days.
At the moment, yeah, I think so.
And so giving a bit more light can only be a good thing.
Why would people want to listen to us?
I mean, I really think one of the most valuable things that we've got going on, only because of the amount of work that we've done on it, is our communication and our relationship style, how we're doing it. And that's not, so we're a monogamous relationship, but I don't think that's actually relevant. I think what's more relevant is how we communicate and how we listen and how we absolutely appreciate that we both work differently. Like our brains work differently. And not just because I'm a male and you're a female, but more like on other levels. Being super aware of that at all times really helps a relationship. I think anyone that's in a relationship or has struggled with relationships, which we've both had, or is in a new relationship but they don't really know what the fuck is going on, you can find value in the way that we speak to each other. And that is not to sound ego-driven, because I'm very aware that we are a work in progress.
It's all about putting our journey out there more than anything. You know, it's not perfect and it's never going to be, but it's how we're working through it.
Yeah, and it kind of feels right that we have started this podcast this far through our journey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think if we started doing this in year one, it would have been all over the place.
Yeah.
Because it's just impossible we didn't really know each other that well. And people change all the time anyway. Like, I really believe, I think they say it's like every 6 or 7 years or something, the person's completely changed.
Yeah.
So if you're in a relationship for that amount of time, you need to be adapting with that person.
Because you either grow together or you grow apart.
Yeah. I used to be baffled how people could be together for 30, 40 years and then separate.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. You know, like, you might not be the same person at 50 that you were at 40.
Yeah, of course.
And so I get it when people say, like, oh, we just distanced apart. It's like, yeah, you didn't work on that stuff. Or you just evolved in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it could be many things. We are both on our individual journeys. We share the same morals. Because I feel like that's one of the most important things in a relationship, is that your values align. But we have very different views on certain things. We have different opinions on important stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know what you can and cannot deal with for yourself. But sometimes I think people don't realize that you can be in a relationship and disagree on things that are, you know.
Yeah, as long
you
as
can
it's done
respectfully disagree with someone and still love them and still respect them and accept them for who they are.
Yeah, and that should be an example for what every relationship can be like, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
At the beginning of each podcast episode, you can expect a quick catch-up of the week with us both, where we'll talk about what we did that past week. There's usually something chaotic or tragic that's happened, so you can enjoy that.
Yeah, it's also just to check in to see how we're feeling that week.
Yeah.
So you can kind of set the tone for the rest of the episode.
If you're still listening at this point, then you must have some mild interest in what we've got to say. So please enjoy the rest of the episodes that await you.
Listen to all of it. While you're doing the dishes, pop one on. Going for a walk,
Pop them on.
pop them on.
Having a shit. If you have any questions about anything that we've kind of mentioned, leave us a comment and we will absolutely address it in one of the episodes, so that we can do an episode one day just about...
Just a Q&A, yeah.
Yeah, Q&A. Please subscribe. Please follow.
Like, comment.
And if you dare, share.
Share.
'Cause
If you
sharing's
don't
a
know
big
what
one.
to comment, just comment.
Exclamation mark it. And don't forget, we're on all your socials.
It's important because essentially we're trying to help people, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the
it's
gist
funny
of
because, like, a part of me is worried that we're too serious about shit, right? Who wants to watch just two people talk about serious stuff? And we're not, like, massively serious people. It's
No,
just
we're not.
we do have conversations about serious stuff because there's serious stuff going on.
Yeah, and I think if this is the kind of information that you're seeking, then you're in that headspace when you want to listen to something serious. If this is what you're looking for, then it doesn't need to be happy all the time. It just needs to be
What you're looking for.
what you're looking for, and that's what this is. It's about growth.
Do you want to do the disclaimer thing? May the record know the following.
We are two average people in our house, and talking about our personal experiences and our personal opinions. We're not experts at any of the topics that we talk about, other than the years of experience that we have had and the research that we personally have done by reading books, finding content on social media, etc. But it doesn't mean that what we know is facts at all times. No. Most of it is just our feelings, our opinions, our inputs,
our views,
our takes on things.
Stick around, bitches.
Stick around.
Cool. Okay. Well, we'll see you around. See you in the next one.